Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, February 10th, 2024. Today is the Lunar or Chinese New Year, marking the beginning of 15 days of festivities for those who celebrate. 2024 also marks the Year of the Dragon, the only mythical animal on the Chinese zodiac. Shout out to DJ Kim for reminding the news department of this fact. Copper Mountain College's annual Have a Heart fundraiser, which provides financial assistance to students attending the school's nursing program, is at 6 p.m. tonight at the Bell Center. The fundraiser will feature a spaghetti dinner prepared by Let's Feast Premium Catering and a cash bar. The dinner will be followed by a reverse raffle, in which the last ticket drawn is the winner. Tickets for the Have a Heart fundraiser are $25, and they include the dinner and the raffle, and they're available at Copper Mountain College's website. That's at cmccd.edu. It's also the second Saturday of the month, and that means the art crawl returns to Joshua Tree. With a look at what's happening downtown, here's Uptown art aficionado Jeff Harmatz.
Downtown Joshua Tree's art galleries will all open to the public tonight, and many of them will have receptions for new shows. La Matadora comes back for a third helping of defiled thrift store art. A number of high desert artists have taken secondhand thrifted artwork and added their own unusual touches to the piece. This show will also feature crochet by Pakilici. An opening will run from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hey There Projects debuts a new show called Uncommon Vessels, featuring colorful two-dimensional drawings and paintings from Joshua Osaguera and Israel Jimenez, and ceramic art from El Unjin Jang. The gallery will host an opening from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Beatnik Lounge debuts a show called Thought I Was a People Person, Then I Met People. This show features Lauren Wolpert's Angel Cards Oracle Deck 2, along with art inspired by the Chickenverse. Doors open at 6 p.m. with music and readings and nonsense from Gilly Dean and friends, and a selection of the musical comedy Quiche Lorraine will be enacted. All of these galleries are in downtown Joshua Tree, near the intersection of 29 Palms Highway and Park Boulevard. Park at one and walk to the rest. For addresses and more information, see this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Jeff Harmatz.
The California Department of Fish and Wildlife sent out their annual report on the Western Joshua Tree Conservation Act. The act lists the species as threatened and was signed into California legislature in July of last year. The Department of Fish and Wildlife reports that their Hazard Management Permit program, which authorizes the removal of dead Joshua trees or the trimming of living ones that need it, has issued 137 of those permits to date. The fees collected from impacting the Western Joshua Tree go into a conservation fund that they say will conserve Western Joshua Tree lands, along with other ways to protect the species. Other uses of those funds are in the works, according to the department. If you want to get a better understanding of the Western Joshua Tree Conservation Act and how it could affect projects you're doing on your property that contain the tree, we'll have a link to their newly revamped website on ours. That's at z1077fm.com. With an eye toward a shady future, the 29 Palms Rotary Club joined forces with the city to plant trees at the 29 Palms Bark Park. Reporter and dog owner Heather Clisby has more.
Our desert sun can be cruel and relentless, especially to our canine pals. With this concern, the 29 Palms Rotary Club partnered with the city to plant 4 fast-growing shade trees within the 29 Palms Bark Park. When 29 Palms Animal Control Supervisor Rick Boyd noted a lack of shade, he approached Rotary President Daniel Mintz with his concerns. Rotary responded by purchasing 4 large, low-water use, heat-tolerant trees to plant at the park. On January 31st, city workers planted the new inhabitants, 2 mesquites, a palo verde, and a desert willow, in a brief ceremony that also included Rotarians, city council members, and city staff. With allotted space for both large and small dogs, the park is located at Knott Sky Park, 6897 El Sol at Foothill Drive. Not only will the trees eventually provide shade, but also an ideal spot for pups to pick up their pee-mel. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
Thanks, Heather. If you're anything like me, you've been pulling weeds out of the ground since November, and this last round of rain has kicked the invasive Sahara mustard weed into overdrive. Getting those invasive weeds out of the ground early means less seeds get spread and allow more room for native plants to bloom in the springtime. With that in mind, the Mojave Desert Land Trust is having a training session about invasive species identification, their impacts to our desert ecosystem, and the best practices for their removal. That session is going to be Wednesday, February 28th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the MDLT headquarters just west of Joshua Tree. The training session will start indoors and will go outside, so bring appropriate clothing for the season. As for all that Sahara mustard, if you pull it out of the ground early enough, it's actually great for cooking, as it can add a bitter, peppery flavor to salads or dishes. We'll have a link on where you can sign up to the MDLT session on our website, or you can visit theirs at mdlt.org. And that's your local news for Saturday. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 news team, I'm Robert Hayden.